Hey there, friends. Welcome to the last episode of the semester of The Week at Belmont. I'm your trusty host, Dustin Stout, and in case you hadn't noticed the mammoth wreath hanging outside the Curb Event Center, Christmas time is here. Now, besides an excuse to drown the gazebos in lights and garlands and bows, Christmas at Belmont is also a time for those all-too nostalgic holiday tunes. In fact, the annual Christmas at Belmont celebration happens Monday at the Schermerhorn Symphony Center. More than 600 Belmont singers will belt some of the most well-known holiday classics, along with this year's host, country singer and Broadway bombshell, Laura Bell Bundy. Now, a few weeks ago, I talked to Laura Bell about everything from her time on Broadway as Elle Woods to her current career in country and even plans she has for this year's Christmas at Belmont. For my entire interview with Miss Bundy, pick up a copy of this month's issue of the Belmont Vision on newsstands today. Sticking with the topic of Christmas, those of you who have been keeping up with the Week at Belmont for a while may recall last year's visit from Indie Claus. It's what Santa calls himself when he's trying to connect to the youngins. Indie Claus has more on this holiday season. Indie Claus?
Thanks, Dustin. Well, I was looking over the wish list I've received this year, and one thing became clear right away. V-necks are no longer hipster dress code.
Okay, well, what is?
Just let me read you this letter from little Johnny Jones. Dear Indie Claus, this year I want some thrift store t-shirts. They can have holes in them, and if it's got a couple stains, I'm okay with that. Also, how do you make your ironic mustache so shiny? It's conditioner, isn't it? Sincerely, Johnny. These kids are going for the haven't showered since Halloween look, which is great for my elves. They just took leftover clothes from last year with them to Bonnaroo and had some hippies use them as sweat rags. Genuine hipster smell.
Sounds like a biohazard. And by the way, has anyone ever told you you sound like a pimped out Colonel Sanders?
Oh yes, Dustin. That's what those American spirits will do to you. Gives me that genuine smoker tone. In fact, I was over at Circle K having me a cig when I got this letter from little Gertrude Green.
Great. Any good gift ideas for the more hygienic of hipsters?
Well, decide for yourself. Little Gertrude writes, Dear Indie Claus, last year you got me the Mumford & Sons box set. I appreciate it or whatever, but seriously, Mumford? You know, they had a song on the radio, right? Anyway, I'm more into post-modern, prehistoric funk trash now, so any Vital in that genre might be okay. See what you can manage. Condescendingly, Gertie.
Wow, are you going to take that kind of patronizing sass?
Well, you know, you get used to it. I got a Belmont student an Eminem album when he wanted Mac Miller, and he mailed me a lump of coal. Kids just don't appreciate pop music anymore.
Well, you know what they say. No matter what they say, words can bring you down. Oh.
Come on, Dustin. Christina is so mainstream. Now go listen to Adele and have yourself a very merry and indie Christmas.
Thanks, Indie Claus. Well, it only happens once a year, and the time has come again for the Greek Awards. Anyway, drop by Neely Dining Room Thursday at 3 when the Belmont Greek community comes together to recognize their outstanding work from the year. Personally, we're excited to see who takes home the gold in the hammer and javelin throws. Speaking of throws, let's throw things now to Correspondent Jessica Adkins, who has the rundown on an upcoming convo happening Friday at 10 a.m. in the Neely Dining Room. Jessica?
That's right, Dustin. This Friday at 10 a.m. in Neely, we've got Living Simply at Belmont. It counts for a personal professional growth convo credit, but it's really going to be structured as an information fair.
I'm sorry, Jessica. It's kind of hard to hear you. Is there something going on behind you?
I think so. Anyway, Rick says this information fair will address how to live lightly on the earth as a college student and will feature issues like eating responsibly and ethically, reducing consumption, local thrifting, and the spiritual implications of living lightly on our earth. Also, reducing consumption, that is, using less of the earth and less fuel and resources and not defecating on the face of creation.
Jessica, it's still very hard to hear you. Are you sure there's nothing going on behind you?
Oh, that. That's the sweet sulfuric smell of progress. I think they're building an endangered species rehabilitation clinic or something. Belmont is all about preservation, you know. Back to you, Dustin.
Thanks, Jessica. November is coming to a close, and so is No Shave November. But don't shave those mutton chops yet, boys. SAPB's Man Stash pageant will put everyone's hair-raising work on display. You don't want to miss the conclusion to all the hairy shenanigans tonight at 6 in the Beeman. Well, as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, a new issue of the Vision hits campus today. Besides my exclusive interview with Christmas at Belmont host Laura Bell Bundy, expect complete Christmas coverage from me and the rest of the Vision writers. Plus, we've got a feature on campus sensation, Leah Marie, and my regular Beaten Track feature with sophomore songwriting major Jillian Linkletter. Trust us, you definitely want to pick yourself up a copy. Well, that's all we have for this week and this semester. Join us again in January for an all-new, fun-filled semester of the Week at Belmont. Until then, I'm Dustin Stout.
I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Only a hippopotamus will do.
I think they're building an endangered species rehabilitation. I think they're building an endangered species Okay. Reducing consumption and resources. I mean, dang it.